Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are glad to be back. We are so glad to be back on the platform once again. I just somehow done hit the mute button, but that's okay. We got a very important topic that we want to talk about this evening, and as I'm going through my notes and everything, I want to say hello to everyone. How you doing this evening? And I also gonna open up the live chat right now and see what viewers think about this topic. And before we go off into a deeper dive of it, I would I would like to play this video right here on what we're going to be talking about in tonight's episode. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. And it should be loud enough for you to hear.
Box facts are just fuller fetch.
All right, now here we go.
Well, two of the largest food delivery services are in the midst of a lawsuit. Uber is suing DoorDash for its food delivery practices. Now, Uber alleges DoorDash leverages restaurants' dependence, on its app by forcing businesses to only work with DoorDash and not UberEats. The complaint says DoorDash uses tactics like threatening penalties or removing or demoting a restaurant's position on its app. A spokesperson for DoorDash says the case has no merit and the claims are unfounded.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, Here we go. Yeah, we're good now. I want to know what you think about that. We're going to get ready to do a deeper dive of today's episode. And it's crazy how this may affect the food delivery industry. And I would like to be able to go ahead and get a deeper dive into that. As I, welcome everybody in the live chat that are subscribers. Later on, I will open it up for non-subscribers as well. As we go ahead and type this in, welcome to the channel. And we're going to proceed on with tonight's topic. All right, the information that I will be sharing with you will be from Business Insiders edition. All right, and to no further ado, let's go ahead and jump off into this topic. Uber sues DoorDash, accusing its food delivery rival of inflating costs and anti-competitive business practices. Uber Technology Inc. on Friday filed a lawsuit against food delivery rival DoorDash Inc., accusing DoorDash of anti-competitive business practice that Uber says inflate costs for both restaurants and customers. In the complaint, Uber alleged that DoorDash, the largest provider of restaurant delivery service in the United States, has devised and engaged in an unlawful scheme to stifle competition with Uber Eats, making it difficult and expensive for restaurants to partner with more than one delivery service and allowing the delivery giant to charge customers higher fees for lower quality service. Restaurants simply cannot afford to stand up to DoorDash and find themselves powerless to choose the service or service that are best for their businesses in the market of first party delivery. The complaint review of the Business Insider reads, Uber's restaurant slash customers have reported, feeling like they have a gun to their head, that DoorDash is a monopolist and that they are being bullied by DoorDash, but most restaurants have no meaningful option to resist DoorDash, given the power it wields through the DoorDash third-party app. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is a very interesting story here and storyline. And how will it affect the way food delivery business will be held in this type of industry, last mile logistics technology, between the three top food delivery service, DoorDash, UberEats, and GrubHub. So we're going to proceed on with the rest of this article. The complaint said that DoorDash alleged anti-competitive behavior has cost Uber millions in terminated and potential revenue loss. Also, Uber case has, so this is what it says here, that the suit seeks unspecified damages and aims towards to force DoorDash to change its business practices. But DoorDash, they replied back saying that Uber case has no merit, as you heard it there. And a DoorDash spokesperson told Business Insider that their claims are unfounded and based on their inability to offer merchants, customers, and carrier quality alternative. As of November, the Earnest Analytics report that DoorDash controlled 62% of the delivery market nationally, followed by Uber Eats, which holds 25%, and GrubHub at 6.2%. A 2024 report of mystery shopper data from InTouch Insight, which collected experience for more than 300 delivery orders from the three main delivery platforms, found DoorDash leads the customer satisfaction in that department there. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be something that I'm gonna keep my eyes glued to, and maybe you should too, to find out what's going on. They've been in competition for the longest, and these platforms are getting more and more aggressive. Customers paying higher and higher fees, and it's costing drivers more and more money. So what I'm getting ready to do now is that I want to be able to share with you some more statistics. The report found that DoorDash also drastically outperformed its competitors in delivery time. With an average wait time of 26 minutes and 24 seconds, GrubHub average delivery time was 35 minutes and 49 seconds, while UberEats was 38 minutes and 4 seconds per InTouch Insight. I want to talk a little bit about that. The wait times on different platforms. Now, GrubHub did improve in that area, but they still fall behind and short. So DoorDash saying that these other platforms, including Uber Eats, the reason why they're not competitive like they should be is because of their customer practice and marketing and all of this. They've fallen short. That was DoorDash's response back to them being accused of using anti-competitive practice, to where they go into these restaurants, letting them know that they use another third-party app. They're going to charge them higher fees and all of that. I want you to understand one thing when we're going through this here. What do you think about what's going on right now? The lawsuit that Uber Eats filed on February the 14th of this year. So we increasingly heard complaints from restaurants that DoorDash tactics are limiting the freedom and pushing them for seeking better options. So what we're looking at is that the prices are higher. The merchants had to, charge higher prices, and it's inflating the prices there where customers, trying to find the best apps that they can save money. And at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, um, try to get better deals. So let me go ahead and open up the live chat right quick. As soon as I can get this going, I want to open up the live chat to see what you think. And we're going to address some of those things. Hold on, let me see. I hit the wrong button. I want to open the doors for viewers that's not subscribers to see what they got to say. But right now we having problems here as far as this kicking off. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, let me do this here. All right, let's go here. All right. I had a feeling it was going to do this. So what we're going to do right now, we're going to do this, and everything should be good to go. We're not going to be on live a long time tonight. We got a lot of things going on. As you can see that the floor is open. I want to know what is, let me make sure, refresh the screen. Yeah, the floor is open. It is open. So I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your perspective on this. All right, we're going to try it again because it's still showing that the floor is not actually open. I want to open the floor tonight. Let's try it one more time. Okay, let's do that. There we go. There we go. There we go. The floor should be open now. Let me double check and make sure. This has been one of the biggest arguments for the longest. Yeah, the floor is now open, ladies and gentlemen. I can also review it as well. So my question is that I knew soon before I said ask a question, my thought is this here. I knew sooner or later, and they probably been doing it because it's getting more aggressive and more aggressive on these different platforms. I knew somebody was going to try to sue somebody, among these top three. Okay, depending on if Uber win the lawsuit or not, how will it affect the way people look at these food delivery apps? And not only that, how will it affect the customers wanting to order off these apps? Those are the two questions I asked. And hold on. And I'm looking in the comments, waiting for anybody to put in the comments. While I'm waiting for folks to put comments on them two questions that I asked, I'm going to do something right quick with my channel. Let's see. Right there. And the article, that news that I let you guys seen earlier, be sure to check it out in the replay. Okay, Uber sues DoorDash for its food delivery practices, news center in Maine. That was the footage that I showed earlier. Okay, so let me do this here. Right there. All right, we see that we on live. We're gonna do that there. It shouldn't pop on. Hopefully it don't. All right, what do you actually think is gonna happen? My opinion is, by experiencing what I have seen happen on the GrubHub app, and GrubHub had this problem here. The problem GrubHub was having was that, and like I said, GrubHub got sued, years ago. The problem that GrubHub is having right now is that a lot of restaurants in my area is not getting a whole lot of diners ordering off of the GrubHub application, mainly the mom and pop shops. Let's think about that. The mom and pop shops. So they have less orders going on that platform due to, customer dissatisfaction of orders not getting there on time, right? And they claiming how expensive the platform is. So Uber is accusing DoorDash of jacking the prices up, so that if the restaurant's going to use other third-party apps, DoorDash going to charge them a higher fee on their platform. So if DoorDash is the predominant app in majority of the markets we are in, people are ordering more from DoorDash than from the other two. Majority of that revenue that the restaurants are making when it comes to third party last mile logistic companies that are ordering on the platform, and that's how they make their money the most from DoorDash, is putting some pressure on restaurant owners. What about the mom and pop shops versus the franchise chain restaurants? How will it affect them? With they got to pay the higher fees, okay, but they make the bulk of their money out of these top three off of DoorDash. UberEats coming second, GrubHub, as you know, coming last. So there's going to be some inflation going on as far as prices is concerned if they continue to use DoorDash. So this is going to be an interesting story to pay attention to. The question I asked in the title is DoorDash in big trouble after Uber files lawsuit? Now you understand what the lawsuit is about. You can also Google and check other information and see what's going on so we can keep up with what's happening and how it will affect drivers. My experience during the snow, when we had the snowstorm here, was this. The mom and pop shops got hit the hardest on the GrubHub app. This is why I can kind of relate to what's really happening, what's really going on the GrubHub app. They weren't ordering. They was not ordering food off of GrubHub. So that was right before DoorDash announced that they was going to, shut the app down due to inclement weather. It was not ordering off of GrubHub, right? So a lot of those businesses closed early. That's where we got the term snowbird hours from. They was closing early. They would open late, close earlier, shorter hours, meaning that they weren't making the money that they're supposed to make to be affordable for them to keep the doors open. So when there's no customer ordering from their business, guess what happens? Their business lose business for even having their doors open. So a lot of the diners, they blame the drivers, they blame the platform, right? Of not getting them seamless deliveries like they're supposed to. I just gave you statistics earlier. You can go back to the replay and see which ones was more efficient. And by the way, DoorDash was reported more efficient, believe it or not. UberEats came in second, GrubHub came in last. So a lot of restaurants in my area, especially the mom and pop shops once again, are suffering. So if they're not making money off of the platform, they got their tablets turned off. I've been told we get 1 or 2 GrubHub orders a week, 1 or 2 GrubHub orders a month. Few of the restaurant owners told me that we turned our tablets back in, we discontinue it, and we don't do GrubHub here anymore. So I had to talk to a driver care specialist about those restaurants so they can put them on the list that they no longer doing GrubHub. So will we have the same problem with DoorDash? DoorDash know how to adapt to different situations, I believe. They know how to adapt. They have a game to where the reason why they number one, right? So we got to see what this gonna turn out to be. I hadn't seen no comments yet. I'm looking to see what people think. I'm already knowing that there's gonna be more and more people talk about this. I'm quite sure I'll probably do episode 2 about this because we barely scratching the surface on it. And as we see a change or a shift in the trend of how food delivery business is making its money, and the more that it affects that, it's going to affect drivers. So now drivers going to have to change and shift with the trend as well. As multi-appers, which are the best apps now for us to try? If you're a hybrid driver, maybe there you go. What's up, TFT? How you doing? Love to comment, but working, but easy to type and work. I understand. So how is it affecting and how will it affect a lot of markets, especially the one with low supply and demand? Especially we done had the winter slowdown, due to inflation, due to low supply and demand, right? So how is drivers going to adjust? If you just got DoorDash as the only app or your only go-to app or is your bread and butter, how will you adjust? What apps will you adjust in? There are a certain time of the day, Uber may be banging. At a certain time of the day, Roadie may be banging. More people going to shop and pay orders, like Instacart platform, Walmart Spark platform, Ship, and others. What about the catering apps? A lot of people going to the catering apps. Some cities are very lucrative. I talked to a driver earlier tonight. I think DoorDash helps small businesses with business loans to help the small business. They do. I did an article and an episode, I want to say 2 years ago. And they do that. They do help a lot of businesses. They do. And that might be one of the advantages right there, is the reason why they're number one. You know, they did. You are correct about that, Keith. They also, I know 2 years ago I did an article. Right at 2 years ago, they did something doing Black History Month as well. So they also helped minority businesses and all of that. So you got to change with the change, and if you're going to be better in competition than everybody else, that means you got to do something that your competitors not doing. That's the same way with us delivery drivers as well, right? You're in a competitive market. Everybody going to the high end area where they want to get them bangers. They want to get the large orders. They want to get the catering opportunities. They want to get the big payouts on the shop and pay, right? Okay, but now it's more competitive because everybody going over there chasing the money. What is it that you're going to do that's going to make it profitable for you? You're going to have to do some changes. You're going to have to make some decisions. And the knowledge of your market. Huck Smash and myself, we talked about it earlier. I'm trying to make sure this is not coming on. I thought I heard another. I did. There it is right there. All right, let's get off of that. Do it like that there. I may have to let it cut off. But we talked about earlier the knowledge of your market. I may come out with an episode about the knowledge of your market. And these certain things right here that going on with the news, with these last mile logistic companies, something we need to pay attention to. Okay. We also need to pay attention to the trends so we can know how to make that shift into using the best apps when we multi-app and making the most out of, out of that hour, making the most from them orders. If you're doing dollar per order ratio, dollar per mile ratio, dollar per hour ratio, right? All three of those got work in combination with each other. The dollar per order ratio and the dollar per mile ratio equals your dollar per hour. Because we own time, and time is a measurement. It's a measurement tool on how we move around on this earth, and it deals with life. We have timestamps. You have the 24 hours of the day. That's measurement of time. When we wake up, when we go to sleep, time is constantly moving around. Or we're wasting our time too long dealing with apps that's not profitable. That's something to think about. Or we're wasting our time dealing with food delivery apps that's not profitable in some markets like it used to be. And if that's the case, we got to change with the trend. We got to also have knowledge of our market. Stay updated with the latest news that's going on with these companies. Stay updated with the latest news that's being put out there about the meetings that they having among shareholders dealing with these companies. There are some drivers that are shareholders, and they be in those meetings getting the best information so they can be able to make the right decision on how they're going to make their money on the apps. The super saturation that goes on, low supply and demand. Okay. The tips are decreasing on a lot of these orders, right? So which apps you going to go to where you can maximize your earnings to where the customers are tipping more? This is the thing I think that's more prevalent now and more relevant that we got to pay attention to. This is my opinion. More so now, business etiquette, more so now, customer service, more so now, professionalism, more so now, great communication. How do you get repeated clients? How often do you get repeated clients? What business practices that you use to get repeated clients? How do you keep your clients satisfied to where they continue ordering off the platform? You know, if merchants, I wish I had took a picture of the Lennys I went to 2 nights ago, and I ordered a chicken fillet. And when I ordered the chicken fillet, I wanted tomatoes on it, I wanted lettuce on it, I wanted cheese on it, I wanted oregano on it, a light layer of mayo, the hot pepper reddish on it. So, they gave it to me. I didn't check the bag or nothing. Went to the house, unraveled the bad boy. Before I unraveled, I said, sandwich feel mighty, mighty light. Real light. So I wish I had went here and took a video of it. All it had on one of the sandwiches, just the meat only. None of the toppings I request for. Guess what? The other sandwich didn't even have nothing but a slice of bread. That was it. No meat, none of that. So when customers have a bad experience like that there, they're going to go somewhere else. Merchants are being careless out there. Next time it happened, I'm going to go to the third degree on handling this situation. Oh yeah, I went back, sure enough. But like I said, next time when that happened, you will see it in the video. You will see the pictures being taken. You will see when restaurant employees that don't care handing you jacked up food. I noticed one of the drivers, he talks about how he staples his bags. Poor packaging. Okay, they do. If they don't do it, we gotta make sure we do it. Because you want to keep making a consistent income, right? Being in the market you're in. A lot of drivers not making that $25 and $30 an hour on that particular platform anymore. There's other platforms making more. I'm not gonna say what the numbers are, but they are making more. You got consumers. Done heard drivers in the past brag about making $35, $40 an hour. They done heard content creators do it. I remember when I went to the restaurant at I'm gonna check the comments in a second. I remember going to the restaurant and it was Carrabba's. Drivers was talking about how they was making money per hour. Anywhere from $30, $35 an hour to 60 to 70. They talked about how they was stacking orders and everything. Customers was coming in. Those drivers didn't care. They were so much into how they were making their money. Having that conversation should have been among drivers lounge only, on Discord, or we grouped up somewhere besides out in the open, letting the customers hear those numbers. I just did a video. And we're gonna go to it. I may have to go another way. I just did a video. See Hulk Smash up there. I just did a video. Look like I can't pull it up right now. Let me try something. Right there, let's try that. There it is right here. I just did that video. And that's Dashing Life of White. I featured him for Black History Month, but it was a whole lot of information in there that we could learn from. And he talked about, better business practices. He talked about faith, focus, and purpose. He talked about dedication. He talked about having a schedule. He talked about being disciplined. He talked about the knowledge of your market. He talked about a whole lot of things. I appreciate it, Jersey. I appreciate it, Jersey, man. It's just that's what we want to do. We want to be able to provide information that'll keep us in the loop. And if we can provide this on this channel, Hook Smash and myself, then we doing what we're supposed to do. As far as drivers is concerned, customers is concerned, and merchants is concerned. Sometimes you can make so much money, you take it for granted, and then you start doing careless things because it's coming in fast, it's coming in good. They say you got to get it while getting is good, because maybe one day that might change, and it does change. It does change. So that's the thing we got to realize. So I went ahead and did that. We talked about the you can go into the description and you'll see the timestamps there. Okay, the timestamp speaks for itself, self-explanatory, and you can tag into them links I got for both for the news channel and also with the interview with the state representative. There were certain questions that was asked to him about net versus gross. Anytime you work in a job, whether it's a business, legitimate business, and W-2, you're going to have gross, you're going to have net. Gross is all the money that you make before expenses are getting taken out, before taxes are getting taken out, before health care is getting taken out. If you got a 401, that's being taken out as well. Insurance being taken out. Now, the 1099, which is us, we gotta pay for our own expenses. Okay, so after you do a good deduction on how much money you gross, and then how much your expense and taxes is and everything. So we got to be careful on how we publicly talk about how we paying taxes. There is a certain amount we need to pay. We need to look that up too. I'm not going to actually say here, and the numbers might be off, but we can say in the ballpark of 20 to 35%. In that ballpark range, somewhere in there. Don't hold me to it. Check and do deeper research. I'm gonna do the same thing because I want to have accurate information. We got to be somewhere in that ballpark. There's a reason for that. I'm not a tax expert, not a tax advisor, so that's our disclaimer there. But somewhere in that ballpark, we need to have them numbers there. And if we're not for sure, we need to do better research so we can make sure that we on point with that. Because I'm gonna tell you now, you already know what I'm saying. Around the way versus I'm telling you on the way. So think on it on that aspect when we do our taxes and stuff like that. I'm gonna get off that subject because that's not what the title or what tonight's episode is. Drivers done sued these platforms, and that's been going on. Misclassification of the status of 1099 and employee status. That's no secret. It's been all in the news. Now Uber suing DoorDash of anti-competitive practices where they overcharging the customers if they using other platforms. DoorDash said they don't have any merits. They don't even have an argument on the case. And they feel like they're not going to win because they don't have any concrete evidence. Well, we just going to have to wait to see what the up and coming months going to bring. During the meantime, in between time, we need to be considering what are our best options on these different apps. Okay, how we multi-apping now, and then the way we multi-app. Okay, how can we maximize our earnings when we multi-app? We're not going to go into deeper dive in that because this is driver's top secret information that I'm not going to put out there today because I'm a driver as well. But you guys know what I'm talking about. So we have to analyze our markets better, the knowledge of your market. You got to know how to shave miles to get that extra $2, $3 a mile. Okay, I can say that. I have done it. A lot of markets might not be able to do that. I know in Orlando when I was there 3 years, maybe 4 years ago, is this. You got to hit that E-way. There's no way around it. You got to hit that E-way to make your money. Now, where I'm at, a certain little district I work in, why would I take an extra 8 miles to get on the E-way when I can just make a left turn, right turn on the local streets and get there 4 minutes to 5 minutes, sometimes 7 minutes faster to the restaurant? Okay, I done shaved my miles. Drivers be letting orders go because they see that full mileage and they didn't review and analyze the GPS. Maybe they're not as familiar with the knowledge of the streets in their market. Didn't know how to turn that order into a $2, $3 per mile order. I get those orders. I already know what to do. You see, so can everybody do that in every market? Maybe not. But you need to have knowledge of your market. What's going on in your market? What's happening in your market? What are the events in your market? This is good information for beginners also, because they don't know. People just out there trying to make it the best way they can, decline. There's nothing wrong with it. I know when drivers done decline orders, I get them, but I know how to stack them up. I'm not going to tell the secret. It's top secret information for the OG drivers, right? But I know how to stack them up. Rack them up, stack them up. That's my motto. Rack them up, stack them up. Do you think that's why Uber offers are so backwards most of the time? It's a possibility. It's a possibility. With that being said, all us drivers, we're not guilty of this. So don't think that I'm blaming us. You're not going to take a 14-mile order for $7. Who does that? The OG drivers that's able to have knowledge of their market, knowing they can shave them miles, or it taking them in another area where they can switch to another app to where, okay, it's about that time. This app is busting on the clock. So yeah, I'm gonna take that order over there. I don't have any dead miles. I'm gonna maximize when I get over there. It depends on your circumstances. It depends on your situation. It depends on what's happening and what's going on in your market. It depends on the knowledge that you have going on that shift during the day or the duration of that time. See, at certain times you won't make number $12 and $13 an hour. Then there's certain times you want to make $35 to $40 an hour. It's your responsibility as being seasoned drivers out here to have knowledge of what's going on in your market so you can maximize instead of minimizing your earnings. Us OGs know how to stack. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And you got to know how to stack the orders. We learn through trial and error. But once you learn, you know how to stack them. You know how to read what's going on your app. You know how to analyze the market. I gave a few tips, maybe little secrets about how to do it on GrubHub, but GrubHub's still the slowest app. But I squeeze as much money as I can squeeze out that app. You see, and I know that if I don't be out there at breakfast at a certain time and do my 2 hours, that's money out of loss. If I don't be out there at lunchtime and squeeze the best out of that opportunity, there's no coming back like on DoorDash and UberEats. You see, that's why we have to use other apps. That's why I do deliver that and I also have deliver. I know if I'm going to make good money downtown, I'm going to be on one of those catering apps. You see, and there's a few other catering apps out there. I'm not mentioning them here, but drivers already know about it. But I'm not going to mention them because of how competitive my market is. So they're going to have to find out like I found out. They're going to have to do their own research. But being able to juggle these apps and make the best out of it, you got to know how each individual app works to maximize your earnings, knowing how to do the shift audible, knowing how to use destination mode, knowing how to shave miles so you won't have dead miles. Some drivers say, I'm not worried about the dead miles because I know if I get to over here, I'm going to make that money. Everybody's situation different. Everybody make different decisions that maximize their earnings, how they make their money. But we got a lot of college students out here. We got a lot of maybe seniors that's still in high school out here. They may not look at it the way we look at it. Okay, so business etiquette, customer service, professionalism, communication are the 4 keys to running your business. How many of you have repeated clientele? How many? How often do you have repeated clientele? What is your percentage on repeated clientele on each app that you work on? Okay. But your customers are always tipping. Sometimes they tip high, sometimes they tip low, but they still tip. What is the secrets to that? You see what I'm saying? Because once you find the secret and the jewel of that, getting repeated business, those customers gonna start trusting you. Say, oh yeah, there go Jersey man right there. There go Jersey man. I'm already knowing I didn't do him too good because I was hurting last time. I'm gonna give him that extra this time. That happens. What about catering apps sometimes that you get cash from? You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I'm not gonna go in a deeper dive of those type of information because there's top secret information for the OGs, drivers, and beginners. You're gonna have to learn the way. When the Spark and Instacart ain't hidden, I'm grabbing those short roadie script drops. Yes. There's a lot of OG multi-appers doing that. Going to roadie. Roadie wasn't prosperous for me 3 years ago, but I know a driver do pretty good on road. Make it work for him. You see, Instacart. Instacart is busting in my market. Walmart Spark is busting in my market. Okay, how do you juggle on apps, maximize them earnings? How much money you can make in that certain area per hour, per order, dollar per mile ratio. You got to have all 3 of those to make it happen, right? So I was looking at a live stream last 3 days. They was out there doing their ride alongs, showing a dollar amount. I'm not gonna say what it was per order. So they was maximizing pretty good per order. Shorter distance equal higher pay per hour. I'm gonna say it again. They was able to maximize dollar per order, shorter mile, dollar per mile ratio for higher dollar per hour. I'm gonna leave it just like that. So that's what we got to do. Know when to get on them, know when to get off of them, know when the next one popping. Be right there as soon as the fish get the bite. Is where we got to go with it now. A lot of drivers going back to rideshare. Rideshare doing pretty good. Doing pretty good in my area. It's 3 apps, rideshare apps here. I'm not going to even tell what that third one is. Once again, top secret information for the OG drivers. Other apps working pretty good out there when others are dropping off. So it's about the knowledge of your market that you have to where you be able to maximize. One thing, you got to set a realistic goal. You got to be real with yourself about the money that's out there. A lot of people say there ain't no money out there. There's money out there. You got to know where to find it. I was a true hearted and still is a multi-app. My biggest problem as a multi-apper was I had too many apps I used as a filler app. Get what I'm getting ready to say to you right now. This is not guru information I'm giving you because I don't consider myself no guru. I just share my experience. That's it. My thing was that I was using too many of my apps for filler apps. So I was losing money. I found out later. I found out years later. Man, if I had knew this 3 years ago, man, you know how I could have doubled the amount I was making, triple the amount I was making. I discovered that 3 years later. GrubHub, I can use it for a good example. Yeah, I can use it for a good example. You said, why you pause for a minute? Because I'm getting ready to read what Jersey Man is saying right now. I'm really looking forward to Food Loop coming up in the game with their different models. Yeah, I know that's app that's out of the country right now, but they supposed to be going to different countries. I think the US beginning to get that app now as well. Yes, sir. Money out there. We got to find it. It's not going to fall in our lap. No, a lot of drivers been doing it. We got spoiled. I'm not even going to say we're lazy. We got spoiled. I got spoiled. They good money during the pandemic era. I got spoiled. 4 states have it already. I guarantee you Tennessee don't have it. I guarantee you we'd be the last to get these apps. So I can use, for example, 2017, 2018. I was doing Lyft and I was doing Uber, rideshare. Couldn't get on DoorDash at the time. Couldn't get on Bike Squad at the time. Got on Bike Squad a year later. UberEats came in the picture. I was on UberEats and Bike Squad before I got on DoorDash. I had Amazon Flex and wasn't popping at the time. We had to go down to Starkersville, Mississippi to get orders on Amazon Flex. But Amazon Flex should be doing better now because we got all kind of warehouses around here. I mean, it look like they're on every corner. Amazon. So it's doing the trend and the cycles of the time that you can maximize these earnings in. And if you're able to get on these apps before it's too late, before they get oversaturated, then you end like Flynn. It's all about the survival of the fittest out here. It really is. Let me look at some more comments here. All right. I'm trying to make sure I didn't miss anybody. But we gotta, take in consideration. If you're hungry enough, you'll find a way to eat. You're gonna find a way to eat if you're hungry enough. So this is something to consider here. I already showed it. I'm gonna show it one more time. It's something to consider. Let's see. It's something to consider, ladies and gentlemen. That right there is something to consider. The decision makers, they're moving around. Because see, I can play myself and everybody can see me on the big screen as well. And I can turn the volume down and you can just see us on the big screen. I will be doing some of that. How you interact with your business, the business owners. How do you have a relationship with them? A business relationship to where you get the inside scoop of what's going on, have a better understanding, and you have knowledge of the market and you make better decisions because you have this knowledge that you didn't have before. You got to get out there and search for it. You got to shake them trees, ladies and gentlemen, and see what's in them, see what's gonna fall out of them. You know, we just got to wait to see how everything gonna turn out this year. And drivers gonna still make money. Drivers gonna still make money, and you can kind of figure out what the dollar amount I'm talking about per week. There are drivers that still gonna make money, but if you're not making that money, don't say that it's not true that other drivers are not making this money, because I know that money is out there and it goes in circles and trends and seasons. It's just about the information you might need to get that other drivers might have. You might not have that information. Did you notice earlier, about 15 minutes ago, I said that my biggest mistake was I didn't maximize my earning off of multi-app. I use a lot of my apps as filler apps versus really knowing what I know now about this app I use now, and looked and saw areas where UberEats and DoorDash was banging that some of these drivers don't know right now in my market. They're too busy chasing Collierville. They're too busy chasing Germantown. Keep on chasing those areas. I'm not going to tell you where they are. You know, there's a certain time when stuff happens. So keep on chasing them areas. A lot of drivers stay in the area where, okay, I can use Walmart, Spark, and Uber Eats in combination. Because Uber Eats also, I can, get Walmart orders off it. That's maximizing earnings. I talked to one driver. He was using too many apps. Was losing money on Walmart, Spark, and Uber Eats. All that driver had to do was use Walmart Sparks at two stores. All right. He could also use Uber Eats at the same place. There was a certain time he could maximize the earnings. Maximize now. But sometimes we all get thirsty. And that thirst and greed sometimes blinds us and we miss the opportunities that we can make money in short amount of time. Notice what I said, in short amount of time. How's it going, information man? Glad to have you here, brother. Glad to have you in the house tonight. It's been a long time since we did a late night show. And the night was the time I had to get out the information on what's going on in our market with Uber Eats filing a lawsuit on DoorDash. We're gonna have to keep our eyes posted as far as delivery drivers understand what's going on. But I don't want to make my platform a platform just for drivers only. I'm also a customer. How did you make on the Super Bowl? I did pretty good, but I went out there like everybody else. I did my 3 hours, made my goal, went home. Went home, made my goal. I wasn't trying to make no $400, $500. Why? When I know I can make $150, $200 in 3 to 4 hours. You see, I didn't make that amount, but we did all right. I was satisfied with it. That's all matter. You got to look at the anxiety, your mental health. We always talk about wear and tear on the vehicles, but we don't talk enough about the wear and tear on your mind. The frustrations of trying to make that money. the stress and the pressure you put up on yourself. It's wearing on you, it's tearing on you. You know, you got to take time out to take some breaks. That money gonna be out there. You got to take breaks. You got to take time off to refresh, renew, reset. Faith, focus, purpose. Faith, focus, purpose. That's what we're about. You know, repeated clients. It's not really a secret on how you get the repeated clients, because I tell people all the time, no problem, brother. Thank you. I thank you as well. As well, you put out a lot of good information. And like I said, this month is a month that different people and content creators that's going to match the theme that I have for this month. I met a content creator in my niche, not niche, but in my city. In my city. Didn't know about it. Went to visit some businesses because I was getting ready to do some stuff there as a customer, certain things I need. Did that and found out about him. 23 Webby Award winner. 23 Webby Award winner out of Memphis, Tennessee. He deals with small content creators as large content creators. And the information this man talks about is mental health. He tells stories, true stories that people go through about anxiety and mental health. You know, hopefully, you know, we might be able to feature some information. You know, that's what we want to do, be able to put the information out there. I had a banger on UberEats from Buffalo. Wild Wings place stayed packed. The place was packed, 35 people deep waiting for us. That's another thing. I'm glad you mentioned that. Usually when you get those kind of orders, how long are you willing to wait? Is it going to be worth your time to wait? And is it going to take you out of the algorithm when you got the momentum flowing in your direction as you print paper? As you print paper. As you print paper. There have been times I got that banger, and then all of a sudden I'm not printing paper anymore because of how long I had to wait for that order. Oh man, it's $70. I'd have made 35 in 2 hours. The next hour and a half, it looked like it's a drought out there. So, you know, $70 base pay. Was this on? You said it was on Uber. Which one of the platforms on UberEats? Congratulations. But I got some question about that order there. And payout was double the order, 37 miles, 2.5 hours. That's understandable. Divide that. If you did it by the order, right? Now dollar per mile ratio equal what you made in 2 hours and 6 minutes. So it was profitable for you. So that's a good thing. So you was right at $100. There are orders out there that you got to travel further for the price. There are some drivers say, I'm not going to take that unless it's this amount. There was a driver 2 weeks ago, got a nice size catering order from a catering app. Nice size catering order. But it was going to be 2 more or 3 more drivers assigned to that same order too. That's how big that order was. You know, we talked about it. I promised him I wasn't going to share too much of that information, but all of them going to get paid decent, right? So when people have confidence in talking to me about confidentiality of not telling top secret information. I don't. But you got to know when to get these orders. But ladies and gentlemen, drivers, we must realize when we get these orders, please treat the customer right. Please treat them right. Please treat the customers right. Customers, when you're ordering on these platforms, please treat the driver right. And I'm not talking about monetary all the time either. Put in a good word for that driver that's giving you those 4 keys to business. Business etiquette, customer service, which is the experience that you will remember that driver. Put in a good word. When you put in a good word, that driver wind up being your repeated driver. That's how you can get the same driver again. I'm sharing that information with customers. That's how you can get the same driver again, putting in a good word. Feedback, put in good feedback. Give them the ratings they deserve. That's how you get that repeated driver. I know what I'm talking about. 90% of my customers on GrubHub are repeated clients. Why? Because I use those 4 keys to my business, how I run my business. UberEats, not bad. UberEats banging right here in my city. But if you want to make it consistent, money for you, that customer not going to pay that amount every time. So that customer might not pay nothing. Well, the platform pays $70. We going to have to talk behind the scenes on that. I got some questions about that order there. I just got some questions about it. I had to talk to you behind the scenes. I wish that it would have been the tip. I'd have been like, wow. But congratulations if the base pay was like that. There was a story behind it right there. I got to talk to you behind the scenes. There's a story behind that. And inquiring minds want to know. But that's all I'm gonna say on that aspect. Treat the customers right. Customers treat the drivers right. Merchants, I can't leave you out. I'm a customer too. That sloppy meal I got from Lenny's. Yeah, we'll talk about it. I would like to see that screenshot. My phone number is on my about page, so you can send it there. But I'm more interested of the story about the results. I'm more interested about the story than the results, because there's a lot of information in the story that led to those results. I'm interested in the story. So every order has a story behind it. Every order does. The OGs know I know what I'm talking about. There's a story behind every order that you get, that you look at, you decide to decline it, or if you decide to I'm gonna go ahead and jump on it. There's a story behind every order. You dealt with the merchant, you dealt with the customer, you dealt with driver support, you dropped off the delivery, made your money. There was a story about that order. So the dollar amount is the end of that order. The end of the day results on that order. But what happened with the process of getting to the end of that results, there is a story. There is a story, and we need to talk about that. There was a content creator, kind of like a food and wine connoisseur. He does a lot of reviews like that. He does reviews on political issues and different cultures. We had a little meeting of mine, except for I hadn't responded to that person yet, but I will. The person said I was wasting my time with the order at GrubHub. This is what I want to say to him and all the viewers out there. Famous Amos, how you doing, brother? How you doing? Appreciate you this evening. There's a story behind that order. I told this story. He said I was wasting my time. I do research. I do case studies. Okay. All the inventors that we enjoy the inventions from, they did case studies and they did research. Okay. How many people tried to tell them they was wasting their time? And if they had to listen to that, we wouldn't be able to live of the comfort of the light bulb, the comfort of electricity, the comfort of the technology to the TV and the GPS. Okay. And a lot of it has to do with Black History Month as well. The innovators, the inventors, you know what I'm saying? We enjoying some of these things right now. So if they didn't do their research, they didn't do their case study, because if they had to listen to people talking about the waste their time, we wouldn't be able to live up under some of these things that we enjoy using right now. So I do case studies, I do research, okay? So I can be able to provide the experience, share my experience, and provide the information from the experience that I have learned that may help others. It may not help you, but it may help others. So that's what I want to say to that individual. I will reply more about that conversation. See, don't be the person, not only in this community, but in life, you thinking can't nobody tell you anything. Once you said can't nobody tell you anything, that means you're not teachable, right? That means you're going to lose a lot of information that's going to help you in life. Have an open mind, suck it up for a minute, receive some important information that you might miss. Life itself teach that lesson. And if the individuals haven't learned that lesson, then you're missing the meaning to the message. To every story, there is a message. To every message, there is a meaning. Now, did you get the meaning to the message? Thinking that I'm better than another person, or that person can't tell me anything, I know more than that person, you might miss out on something. There was a homeless guy. I told that story once before. Okay. And there was a doctor driving in the car, right? He had 5 lugs on that tire, lost 4 of them. Passed the homeless person and all of that, didn't pick him up. Make a long story short, homeless person finally caught up with it, asked him, may he help him? He looked at him like, what are you going to do to help me? I lost 4 lugs. There's no way I'm going to ride a tire off of 1 lug. He said, sir, would you allow me to do this? Man took a lug off of each tire, which was 1, 2, 3, and had 4 lugs. The man was only missing 1 on each tire. That was enough to hold the tire together. The moral to that story is don't think you too good to learn something. Don't think that you know everything till you forget the lesson of life that you can still learn something. Once you an expert in learning anything and everything, that means you're no longer here on earth. As long as you're here on earth, there's always something new you can learn. When you get to the point that you think you know more than everybody and can't nobody tell you anything, you're no longer teachable. That means you're not going to learn anything else. That's far as you go on that level, while everybody else pass you by. Think about that. The next time you sit there and say, I've been doing 20,000 deliveries, 30,000 deliveries, 100,000 deliveries. Can't nobody tell me anything. Or it's something you can learn new every day. I guarantee that. So think about what we was talking about. Think about the title. I've just scratched the surface. It's a lot of unanswered questions that needs to be answered on what's happening right here. Is DoorDash in big trouble after Uber files a lawsuit? Is it going to go down like that? Or is they going to have a meeting of the minds and decide that we can negotiate as long as we all make money? Is one hand going to wash the other? We're talking about business now. Is one hand going to wash the other? And we all can still make money? Or is one going to run another one over? We'll find out by the end of the year as everything get revealed on how the business typhoons in this business and super heavyweights and superpowers do what they do of making the decisions on how millionaires will become trillionaires and while others may be suffering. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not a politician and I don't get into political issues too much, but I know I got to start paying attention to certain things that's going on in the political world. Got to pay attention to certain things because it's going to affect the way I make my money. Okay, without that information, I'm not going to be able to make the right decisions, right? That's all we want to put down. We will have some more stuff going on. I'm not going to say what it is. Only thing you know, I'm going to spring it on. But remember to keep faith, keep focus, and have a purpose. The man said you got to be disciplined. You gotta dedicate yourself. You got to put in hard work. Check the story out because I redid the first video that I did. I didn't like how it was published. I didn't like the production of it. So I was going to do a part 2, change my mind, did a revised version. I like that one right there. It's got a lot of power pack information there. It's up to you to read between the lines and catch the meaning to the message of the story. There's a lot of information there. It was an interesting conversation there. It got political in terms of constituents. Anytime the word constituents is used, that means it's a political conversation going on. Okay, so they talked about net worth and gross. Okay, talked about making more money than the other. All right, I'm talking about that right now. When people is in a wealthier status, you got lower class, middle class, upper class. I'm just talking on common sense level right here. You ain't got to have a degree to talk about what I'm talking about right now. That when people are in certain classes of wealth and stature and standards, they feel a certain kind of way when a blue collar worker can make that kind of money they make. You get looked at different, you get treated different, all of that. Okay. How did you do that? How did you make six-figure income? This man right here. How did you do it? Okay. Are you paying your taxes? The conversation was brought up. It was brought up. How you paying his taxes? He told him how you paid them. But the conversation was brought up for a reason. Now, GrubHub trivia question is, if you can find out where he asked him about paying taxes, and then you tell me what was the meaning of that conversation in the GrubHub trivia question I just gave you. You got to give me that information, timestamp, and your answer. Okay. Because there was a powerful conversation that took place. Powerful. You see, so you need to get the message because there are going to be some changes going on about how drivers are making money on these apps. Watch and see. That's all I'm going to say. Top secret information. I can't tell too much. But I got your eyes open enough to where you will need to pay attention to what's going to unfold. That's all I can say. I'm not making these things up. Check this situation out there. Dig deeper, find out what the news saying about it. Keep our eyes open on what's getting ready to happen. Is somebody finna run over somebody, or are they getting ready to shake hands? And so the difference. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to look at the live chat, then we're going to get out of here. Look like we saw everything we need to see. TFT was in the house. Keith was in the house. Jersey Man was in the house. Information Man also in the house. Keith brought up a very valid point earlier about DoorDash. Help a lot of businesses get loans. I was at the Main Street conference 3 years ago with DoorDash. Tony Shu asked some questions. I had talked to several drivers in this area to give me some questions. I'm going to give it to him. He did select one of those questions. And back then he explained how drivers and driver support, how they was getting paid off of the delivery fee back then. So there was more stuff being said, but he talked about some of the changes going to take place. Did take place. Okay. How did your boy, the DoorDash Revolution, was able to go to a meeting like that? I got a business and I got a business name. Yes, that's how I was able to get in. So if those don't remember what the name is, I'm not going to repeat it today. It's been about like almost 3 years ago. But being able to seize the opportunity to where you can empower your mind with knowledge, then wisdom going to show you how to utilize that knowledge. I'm not going to say no more. It's just that's just the way it is, and you can learn it a lot better and a lot faster if you don't sit here and use your ego thinking that can't anybody tell you anything because you done did 20,000, 30,000, 100,000 deliveries. Can't nobody tell you anything. Something you learn something new every day. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is what we're getting ready to do. Bounce off of this here. Bounce off of that. I enjoyed having this late night show this evening. I miss having these late night shows. Will I be doing them? Maybe at another place. Maybe at another place I may be doing because we got a lot of information we want to share. And some people, it will help. Some people will say, no, I don't need that. I can't use it. But others may be able to use it. So I'm trying to see what are the questions getting ready to transpire before I step off of here this evening. Let's see. Okay, it's doing this thing. So I'm getting ready to do mine. Okay, we're gonna do this here. I thank all the viewers for checking us out tonight. We got a lot of things coming up. We already talked about the March Madness challenge. Hulk Smash and myself gonna have. Be sure to check us out. We got a lot of challenges we're gonna be doing. Each challenge has a story. Every story has a message. Every message has a meaning. All right, so I just want to share that with you. And we're gonna go ahead and do this. And have a good evening. Stay positive. Okay. Sometimes you got to rest, relax, take some time off to heal. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna do this here. Turn the volume up. All right, that was just to do that there. Now, we're getting ready to do something else. I got so many different sound effects that I personally got myself. I'm still recording sound effects from other platforms. I actually caught different people doing certain things. I'm gonna do more of that, enhance that later on. But we're gonna go ahead and do this here. I'll also be posting up the things in the live chat. The comments, that is. Thank you once again, Information Man, for visiting us this evening. We appreciate you, my brother. Peace, blessings, and salute. And respect. Is meet and greet possible one day with fellow drivers? Yes, sir. I'm gonna. That's a good idea. That's a great idea. We're gonna see what we can do to accommodate that for our subscribers and also in their hometown. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen, to Take It to the Street Late Night Show. Peace, respect, and blessings. And until next time, and when we meet again, we'll see you in the next episode. Take care and may God bless.